We got some stuff to talk about. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, hit me up on the community posts, leave some comments in the comment section. You already know the vibes, man. And I'm back at you with your weekly AEW Dynamite review. And I will say this week's episode of Dynamite was better, slightly better than last week's episode. A lot of people weren't too fond of last week's episode. A lot of people were very critical. Not a whole lot of positive reviews. I think the only positive review I saw was from Simon Miller, and that's because Simon Miller is the most positive person in the IWC, in wrestling in general. So hey, I ain't mad at it. Shout out to Simon Miller. But yeah, man, last week's episode, it wasn't all that. This week was slightly better, but I do have a couple of issues. One of those being this huge announcement that's been teased for the past few days. Tony Khan has teased his big announcement. He's been all over Twitter teasing it. Teased it on Busted Open Radio and interviews. You know, any chance he gets to promote AEW, he's been teasing this huge announcement. And you already know how the internet works. You already know how the internet wrestling community works. We're speculating, is it going to be Mercedes Moné? Is it going to be CM Punk? Forbidden Door 2? Jay White? What's this announcement going to be? And Tony Khan ended up announcing Adam Cole announcing this announcement. And what it is it's a weekly show that's going to be starting next week after Dynamite. It's going to be an hour-long show. I think it's called AEW All Access. And it's pretty much an hour-long, behind-the-scenes, reality-based show, I think. I think that's pretty much the gist of what this show is going to be. And on the one hand, I'm not upset about more AEW content. That's good. That's more television time. That's more opportunities for more talent to get pretty much some more TV time. That part's cool. The part I'm kind of blah about is the fact that for a whole entire week, we've had hype, build up, speculation as to what this big announcement is going to be. And this was it. I mean, you could have just sent this out on a tweet or something, man. Like, you love Twitter so much, Tony Khan. Instead of tweeting out about Ariel Hawani, you could have just tweeted out about the new weekly show, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, do that. I don't know, man. For me personally, it felt like this announcement was kind of underwhelming. It is what it is. It's more content for AEW, so that's not a major. It's not a major bad thing, but the fact that all this hype and build up just for that, I mean, I wasn't really feeling that too much. Like I said, pretty underwhelming. But as for the rest of AEW, man, this episode of Dynamite was actually a really good show. Like I said, better than last week. A whole lot of violence, a whole lot of blood on this show. It started off with Wheeler Yuta taking on Orange Cassidy, and I do got to say this about Wheeler Yuta. He's a good wrestler, but up to this point, I haven't really had much for Wheeler Yuta. He's always just there. Like, whenever it comes to like a Wheeler Yuta match or a build up for a Wheeler Yuta match, it's pretty much someone doing an interview and Wheeler Yuta just pops up out of nowhere and says, "Hey, I don't like that you did this," or "This pissed me off," or blah blah blah. It's like, bro, where did you come from? Like, are you hiding underneath like the ring or whatever? Like, where do you always come from? So that's always been my thing about Wheeler Yuta. But as far as this match he had against Orange Cassidy, Wheeler Yuta worked more of a heel style, and I kind of enjoy that. He showed a little bit more personality. I actually like Wheeler Yuta as a heel better than whatever they had Wheeler Yuta doing in the past. I actually like that a little bit better. And this was a really good match. It showed that Orange Cassidy, he's more than just a joke. I mean, he does the hands in pockets things, he does the kicks and all that, but this dude can really go. And this match did a really good job of showcasing how good of a wrestler Orange Cassidy is. Orange Cassidy ended up winning with the Orange Punch. Like I said, a good match. Also, during this match, Claudio Castagnoli came out looking like a black mom. You know, I know a lot of people can relate to this. Like when you get into a fight and your mom says, "Boy, you better go out and beat him, or you're gonna have to deal with me." That's the vibe I got from Claudio Castagnoli coming out during the Will and Yuta match. And after the match, like I said, Orange Cassidy won. He wanted to go for the best friends hug, and Claudio was like, nah, come here, boy, get out of that ring, let's go. So yeah, that part made me laugh a little bit. Next up, we had a in-ring segment with Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks came out to the ring, had an open contract, pretty much saying that he's done with the Jericho Appreciation Society. The crowd loved this. I love this because I'm tired of this. But of course, this was short-lived because out comes Chris Jericho. He's pretty much saying, look, you're done with the Jericho Appreciation Society when I say you're done. And somehow, some way, Ricky Starks ended up finessing Chris Jericho into this rematch that he's been wanting for the longest time. And he not only did he finesse him to the rematch, but the Jericho Appreciation Society is also banned from ringside. So it's going to be a straight-up one-on-one match. I feel like there's still going to be some type of shenanigans involved, but I guess. I mean, the first match they had was good, so I have no doubt that this will be a good match as well. But it was pretty funny watching Ricky Starks trick Chris Jericho into getting this rematch. So that was pretty funny. Alright, so next up we had the Acclaim taking on Lee Moriarty and Big Bill. The return of Big Bill. Big Bill's back in the building. Always good to see Big Bill on AEW television, baby. Yeah, this match was what it was. The Acclaim won. Yeah, also the Ass Boys were standing at the top of the ramp, so, you know, building up to the Fatal 4-Way match at Revolution. Yeah, not really too much to say about that. The Acclaim rap was funny. They dropped a reference to Big Bill being Big Cass back in the day, dropping the SAWFT. That was pretty funny. But yeah, man, not too much to talk about from that. Next up we had what we thought was going to be an interview with Tony Schiavone and Christian Cage. Jungle Boy actually ended up coming out and whooping Christian's ass. It looked like he was going to go for the concerto, but he hesitated. And Christian got the jump on him, hit him with a low blow, and then just beat him with the steel chair that Jungle Boy should have hit Christian with the concerto with. Left Jungle Boy bloody. So yeah, there's that. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to get a match at Revolution. Saraya wrestled with Sky Blue. And I do gotta give AEW props. It wasn't the typical 9:30, 9 o'clock spot. It happened like right before 9 o'clock. I think the match started like at 8:50. It was over by 8:56, I believe. I mean, for what it was, I mean, it's good to see Sky Blue, but you already knew what the outcome was going to be. Saraya won. Tony Storm was out there cheating on Saraya's behalf. It looked like they were going to attack Sky Blue after the match. That is Tony Storm and Saraya. And Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter ran out, made the save. And as they were going up the ramp, you had Ruby Soho come out. And she's looking past Saraya and Tony Storm, and she's motioning to Jamie Hayter, as in she wants a shot at the AEW Women's Championship. So later in the night, Jamie Hayter just issued the challenge, saying, "Listen, I'm tired of both of y'all. So at Revolution, I want to fight Tony Storm, not Tony Storm, but Saraya and Ruby Soho." So it's looking like it's going to be a triple threat match between Saraya, Jamie Hayter, and Ruby Soho for the AEW Women's Championship, which I'm pretty cool with, as long as it wasn't just a straight up one-on-one match between Saraya and Jamie Hayter. I'm cool with this. The segment that everyone I think is going to be talking about from this show is the segment between MJF and Bryan Danielson. And I do gotta say this. MJF is tremendous on the mic. I like MJF on the mic. MJF has a new supervillain origin story like every 2 weeks. It's like, oh, well, I'm evil because my ex-girlfriend broke up with me, or I'm evil because William Regal rejected me at my WWE tryout, or I'm evil because CM Punk is a mean person. It's like, bro, how many supervillain stories do you need? And apparently, I'm guessing that he's not getting married anymore. He said something about he finally met the girl of his dreams, the girl he fell in love with, a girl that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with, a girl he wanted to marry, and she ended up breaking up with him. And I'm assuming that there is some truth to this because I do believe that MJF was engaged. I don't know if he's engaged anymore or not. And he's pretty much saying that this is the reason he's mad at Bryan Danielson, because Bryan Danielson has a wife, he has a girl of his dreams, he has a family, and by wrestling, he's choosing he's choosing wrestling over his family, and that's why MJF is so mad. I'm like, really? That's why you're mad? For real? Sound like a hater to me, bro, but you know, it is what it is. MJF then started to talk trash about Bryan Danielson's kids. Bryan Danielson was like, yo, don't do this, I'm gonna put hands on you. And MJF did it anyway, and him and MJF had a big brawl, and that was pretty cool to see. You had security and officials coming out breaking up the fight. It looked like Bryan Danielson knocked the shit out of him. It looked way more believable than what we see on Power Slap. So yeah, man, there's that. Just building up more towards the MJF Bryan Danielson match, the Iron Man match, which I believe is going to be one of those match of the year contenders that we love so much. Now here comes my other issue. So we had this tag team battle royal to determine the third team that will be in the Fatal 4-Way, and I'll give you a wild guess as to one. It wasn't Best Friends. It wasn't the Lucha Bros. It wasn't Top Flight. Hell, it wasn't even Mark Sterling's boys. It was goddamn Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Now, if you see me on Twitter, you already know I'm pushing the Jeff Jarrett agenda because I actually do like Jeff Jarrett. I feel like he is one of the best heels in wrestling today. And that's really weird to say because Jeff Jarrett is as old as dirt. But the fact that these two motherfuckers are the ones that are in this Fatal 4-Way match, and they may have a shot at winning the tag team titles over Best Friends, over Top Flight, you could have put together Santana and Ortiz. You could have gave them a shot at winning the tag team titles. But nah, man, you decided to give it to Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Why? Who asked for this? Who is begging for a Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal title run? I'm not asking for this. Are you asking for this? Let me know. I just want to talk to you. I just want to talk. I promise you, I just want to talk. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, and most likely they're gonna have another so they're gonna have another casino battle royal next week, and I'm assuming FTR is gonna win. Unless you want to put the Trust Busters back together, you want to put Slim J and Parker Boudreaux. Let's put them in the Fatal 4-Way. I don't know, man. Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. All right, let's talk about the main event because I feel my blood pressure going up. So let's talk about this main event between Jon Moxley and Evil Uno. Now, this was a pretty short match, and it went exactly how you thought it was going to go. It was blood, but it wasn't Jon Moxley bleeding. Not at first. It was Evil Uno bleeding. So you had Jon Moxley ripped Evil Uno's mask. Jon Moxley whooped this man's ass the entire match. He had this man bloody. Jon Moxley ended up winning with a bulldog choke, like choking the hell out of this man. He didn't want to let go of the hold, so Dark Order came out to try to make the save, and then Blackpool Combat Club came out to fight off the Dark Order, and then of course Hangman Adam Page came out, and Hangman ended up wrapping barbed wire around his fist and punching Jon Moxley in the face. So Jon Moxley bleds. We have a weekly Jon Moxley bleedometer or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, Jon Moxley's bleeding all over the place. So yeah, man, building up their match. So I know I did say last week that I'm tired of seeing these two wrestle, but this kind of did get me a little bit more excited to see their rematch. Jon Moxley versus Hangman Adam Page 4 at Revolution. So yeah, there you have it. There's this week's Dynamite. Like I said, better show than last week. I am a little bit more excited about Revolution. Not much though. I mean, if I had to rate my excitement levels for Revolution, it went from last week being around a 3 to now being like a 4.5. So it's up, but not by much. And you still have another week. Next week's the go home show. And I'm pretty sure they're going to announce like 13 more matches that are going to be added onto the card. In addition to the fact that we have an hour Iron Man match. So I'm going to need like energy drinks, coffee, maybe some snowman, whatever. I don't know, something to keep me awake. But yeah, man, what did you guys think of this week's episode of Dynamite? weekly rating, I have to get it. I'll give it an honorary W. Like, I wasn't as down on this week's episode as I was on last week, but they still have a long ways to go as to get my excitement levels back up to where AEW was in the past. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Did you enjoy this week's episode of Dynamite? Let me know. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care, bees. I'm out. Peace.